mynews.studio.
At the southern tip of South America, there's a new national park emerging from some of the continent's oldest peatlands. The question is, can conservation really succeed when indigenous communities are not just consulted, but actually leading?
Today's date is February 4th, 2026. Let's start with the basics. Chile has just created Cape Froward National Park, right at the continent's southernmost edge. It's about 150,000 hectares, which is almost as big as Greater London. It's now protected as subantarctic wilderness. But Ellie, what actually makes this park stand out from other protected areas in Patagonia?
The size is one thing, but the real difference is how the park came to be. It wasn't just a top-down government project. Instead, this is the result of 10 years of collaboration. Private conservation groups like Rewilding Chile and Tompkins Conservation, international donors, and most importantly, the Kaweskar people. They negotiated co-management rights, so this is about more than land. It's about sharing power and responsibility.
That kind of partnership is unusual, isn't it? Usually, indigenous communities might be consulted, but here they're actually co-administering the park. Why did that happen this time?
The Kaweskar are the original people here. They've lived along this coastline for thousands of years, moving by sea. When Rewilding Chile and others started buying up land in 2021, nothing could move forward unless the Kaweskar were involved. The negotiations led to a shared administration with Chile's National Forestry Agency, CONAF. It took longer, but it meant the boundaries changed, and protections for marine areas the Kaweskar rely on were included. The thinking shifted. Indigenous people became partners, not obstacles.
So, it's not just about forests, it's preserving culture and livelihoods too. And ecologically, the park is unique. What exactly are they protecting?
Nearly a fifth of Cape Froward is peatland. That's significant because peatlands store a lot of carbon, which helps with climate mitigation. The park also protects subantarctic forests, including the world's southernmost conifer, the Guaytecas cypress. It's also the last stronghold on the continent for the huemul deer, which is critically endangered. There are ruddy-headed geese, pumas, whales, and this is the only park along the 2,800-kilometer route of parks of Patagonia that protects the southern coastal transition where the Atlantic and Pacific actually meet.
Right. The route of parks is that long corridor from temperate rainforests all the way south. Most of the other parks are inland, with glaciers and mountains. This one's different because it's coastal, correct?
Exactly. It fills in a missing link connecting the land and the sea. And it's not just a case of closing off the area. There are active restoration projects. Rewilding Chile is working with the University of Magallanes to restore native forests, monitor wildlife, and study marine biodiversity. They're also turning an old Scottish lighthouse from the 1800s into a museum and visitor center. So the park is being developed for science, education, and tourism.
That brings in the economic aspect. Is the park seen as a model for how conservation can also create jobs and support local economies?
That's the intention. The aim is to combine ecosystem protection, indigenous rights, and economic opportunities, mainly through conservation tourism. Tompkins Conservation has already done this elsewhere. They've created 13 parks and protected over 14 million acres worldwide. Cape Froward is their 16th project. The hope is that this model, integrating local leadership, land-sea connections, and careful tourism, can be used in other places, maybe even in the U.S.
But is this approach actually something that could be copied elsewhere? Or is it just possible because of Patagonia's unique context?
The landscape is unique, yes, but the main principles can be used elsewhere. What matters is making sure communities are genuinely involved, bringing in indigenous knowledge, and finding a balance between protection and economic options. The way the Kaweskar are involved here might be a guide for other countries dealing with similar tensions.
With biodiversity loss and climate change picking up speed, these lessons really matter. Those peatlands, for example, they're huge carbon sinks, and the corridor lets species move as conditions change, which is essential for survival.
Exactly. The park isn't just a line on a map. It's a living system, supporting both ecological and human resilience. It shows that even now, with all these challenges, there are ways to protect wilderness and respect ancient rights at the same time.
So Cape Froward National Park is more than just land conservation. It's a blueprint, demonstrating that conservation, indigenous partnership, and local economies can work together, even at the farthest edge of the world.
Thanks for joining us as we explored Cape Froward, a new kind of park for a new era in conservation.
If you're interested in learning more about these partnerships or about the root of parks, you can check out the latest reports from Rewilding Chile or Tompkins Conservation.
Thank you for listening. This episode was produced by mynews.studio. Try it now for free.